Operations Live.
Don't you wanna talk
And now,
about it? Let's talk
Miss
about
JSPIRE.
it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Well, hello everyone and happy Friday. Welcome to Fill Up Friday Live. I am your host, Mrs. J Spire, and I am so excited that you guys are here with us on a Friday night. If you are in the Hampton Roads area, it is a rainy, windy Friday night. So I hope you guys are safe. I hope you are on your couch watching this, that you have a warm blanket, a cup of hot tea, a cup of hot coffee, a cup of warm hot chocolate, whatever your comfort is. We are just thankful that you guys are here tonight. If you are catching the replay, thank you so much for doing so. Still feel free to comment, to share, to like. We always try to go back and respond to the comments. If you are watching during the live show, then again, welcome so much. Hey, Latoya, happy Feel Up Friday. It has been a long week, but I am so glad that you guys are here. We have something to talk about tonight. It's something that's really important. It's going to be a little basic. You guys know how we do on Friday night. I think maybe it's going to be a little basic. I want to encourage you guys. I want to share. And then it always turns into something big. It turns into something amazing. Hello, Lucy. Happy Fill Up Friday Live. So, we want to give the rest of the Fill Up Friday faithful just a little bit of time to come on. So if you're new to the page, then JSPIRations Live is a motivational movement. It's a podcast. Previous radio show, but it really is a movement of just about coming together to spread some sunshine, to spread some motivation, to spread some Jspiration, and to really learn how to take care of ourselves, give ourselves some grace, and really walk in purpose, just knowing that our stories are important and knowing that the process does not always look pretty, but whatever God has destined us to be, who he has destined us to be, that is who and what we are going to be. So, ladies, you are here. Go ahead and drop in the comments. Let me know. Let us know what you filled up on. If you didn't fill up on anything, let us know what you felt like you needed that you didn't get. And the hope, the goal is by the end of the show that you are full, that you have filled up, and that when you leave, you are not empty. So you guys are two of our Fill Up Friday faithfuls, Latoya and Lucy, the two L's. So go ahead and just start to drop in the comments what you guys filled up on. And let me know how your week was as well. Let me know what you guys are going to do on this rainy weekend. I am going to relax. Someone else just popped on. I'm on my phone tonight, so I can't always see who's watching with me. But glad that you guys are here. So listen, you guys saw the caption. So tonight we are going to talk about talk nice to yourself. It's going to be a funny conversation. I'm going to talk about some things that I said to myself this week to affirm myself. to kind of get myself going for the day. And the song that I was singing, it has just been it's just been in my head actually all week. So funny. So I see you guys aren't dropping anything in, but I know you guys are here. So I am going to go ahead and get started. Just going to get started first by just talking about some things that we have coming up. Again, we have JSPIRE Live, Beauty, Boldness, and Butterflies coming up in October. We're just about a month out from that event. Latoya has her tickets. Lucy has her tickets. And so I'm excited to celebrate with you guys. Tickets have been selling. We've had an increase in the last couple days. So if you have not gotten your tickets, but you want to be in the building, then I encourage you to go ahead and please purchase your tickets. It's going to help our administrative team continue to plan to make sure that we have an amazing show. We have an amazing show already put together, but we want to look at some of those small things to make sure that everything is perfect for you guys. We have a comedian that's going to be coming through, comedian Team Fred. We have a motivational speaker, Robinette Clark Caffey. I know I'm probably saying it wrong, her last name, but she was our first guest to come on the show in 2018. So she's going to be in the building. We also have Javon Barrows. She is going to be our psalmist for the night. Her voice is absolutely amazing. Let me tell you, you do not want to miss that. We also have Joy Clayton that's going to be in the house. She is a poet. She is a motivational speaker as well. If you want to follow her, she is at Joy Stays Free on Instagram, and she's also on she's on Facebook as well. Our catering is going to be by Mama Josie's. Listen, her food is delicious. We're going to have an amazing time. Music by DJ Chemical. You want to be in the building. And we also have some vendors that's going to be coming through. A Nicole Fashions will be in the building. She has some amazing pieces from clothing to purses. Dawn just popped on. She said, get your tickets ASAP. Don't miss this fun filled with motivation. Absolutely. Dawn is on our administrative team. Like I said, we've been working hard. So all those folks are going to be in the building, and you do not want to miss it. This is an event that you don't want to hear about. You absolutely want to experience it. So listen, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get started. So tonight I wanted to talk about talk nice to yourself. Well, Mrs. J. Spire, where did you come up with that topic? Where did that come from? Well, it's been a busy few weeks. I got a new job that I'm so excited about. It's been stress-free, been learning a lot in training, not just professionally, but learning a lot about myself the last couple of weeks as I've been traveling and been in trainings. But this week, as I was, when I woke up the other morning, I believe it was Wednesday morning, but I woke up with this song in my head. Depending on your age, you may know it, you may not, but it's this, it's a little phrase inside of the songs that said, I look, now, of course, it's going to go out of my head. I look fresh, I look good on my mama, on my hood. Right. So when I woke up, that was in my brain. And I was like, why am I singing this? Right. Like, why is it in my brain? Why do I keep on saying it? But I started singing it and I laughed about it. And then as I was getting dressed for work, I kept singing it and I was laughing about it, getting in the car. Right. I was singing it too in my head. And I was like, why do I keep on saying that? And then I started thinking, we are supposed to be affirming ourselves. And sometimes when we talk about affirmations, we're saying, you be sure to tell yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, which you are. Be sure to tell yourself that you are worthy, which we are, that you are more than enough, that we are who God said that we are, which we are. And all those things sound good, right? But everybody doesn't have the same relationship with God. Everybody isn't in the same place, right? Excuse me, you guys. And I don't even have water up here. But like, everybody's not in the same place to be able to get up and say those things to themselves, right? Like, everybody doesn't have a relationship with God And although we can't always understand it, some people don't even believe, right? But we are believers. So we know what the Bible says about us. We know his word. We know how to affirm ourselves. We know what to say to ourselves. We know how to pray ourselves, when we're going through things. We know all of those things. And I'm so thankful for that, right? That I have the word of God, deep in my heart, even though I'm not a Bible scholar and I can't recite the Bible, but I have scripture, right? That when things are going on, I can speak those things over my life. I have people in my life who love God, so that when I'm praying, I can ask them to connect with me. I can ask them to agree with me, right? And we can say those things to each other. But there are some people who don't have that. And so saying something like, I look, now I can't remember exactly what it was said, but I look good. I look on my mama, on my hood, right? Like somebody may need to say that to themselves, to affirm themselves, to push themselves through the day, to get themselves started. And so I was just singing that, and it was funny, but it was still real, because somebody needs to tell themselves that they look good. Somebody needs to tell themselves that they feel good, right? You don't know what place someone is. I realized in the last couple of weeks of being in training, and I love training, that we don't know who we're sitting beside. We don't know who we're walking past. We don't know that person's story, right? Even some people that we know what we think we see. We know what they have told us. We know what we have heard about them, but we don't truly know their story. So saying something like, I look good on my mama, on my hood, that could be something that that person just needed to say to themselves to affirm themselves, right? So I said it, and I kept singing it throughout the day and throughout the week. But then when I got in the car, right, and there was quiet time, and I started driving, and I started listening to I think it was Erica Campbell, the morning show, and those worship songs started coming on, and I had that peace and quiet to be able to just listen. And then I just started praying and thanking God for all things as I was driving. And so that song was no longer in my head, but I started just to begin to worship and settle down as I started to drive. And that morning it was a lot of traffic, right, more than the day before. And I could have gotten all, out of sorts, right? And I could have got upset, and I could have gotten anxious and had some anxiety. But I just started to meditate just on who God is. And I started to affirm myself. I started to calm down. And not only did I start to affirm myself, but I just started talking to God. And that just really calmed me down. And the trip was nice. The drive was nice in. But for somebody else, they're not listening to that morning show. For somebody else, they're not listening to worship music. And what I said earlier is all that they have. So tonight, I want to encourage you to talk nice to yourself. You don't have to sound like a scholar, right? When you're talking nice to yourself, the words don't have to be perfect. Just talk nice to yourself. People don't, people are going by you, and they don't know what you're going through. As you're sitting by them or walking by them, you don't know what they are going through. So talk nice to yourself, because some people, unfortunately, aren't going to pay you any attention. They're not going to pay you any mind. They're not going to care about what you went through. They're not going to ask you how your day is. They're not going to ask, how are you? And then some people will, but they may not really care, right? It's just become something that we say to each other, unfortunately. But then there are people who you're going to encounter who's going to ask, how was your day? How are you doing? How are you feeling? And they really are going to care, and they're going to want to know, but we're not going to always get that. So because we're not going to always get that, make sure that the relationship that you have with yourself, that you're talking nice to yourself. And my mom has been telling me, girl, when I tell you something, like, you sound mean, like, that's not nice, like, you're talking rough to me. And I had to go back this week, and I had to reflect on that as well, right? Because I'm always such like I'm not an aggressive person, but I am an assertive person, and I'm a really outspoken person. So usually, and I'm working on it, and I've gotten better at it, but usually if somebody says something to me, then like I have to, I usually respond. Or if it's not something something that I agree with, I'm like, well, so, just thinking about that too, right? Talking nice to other people, talking nice to yourself. And sometimes, the person that you're talking to, they don't think you're talking nice to them, even though you don't think that you're talking mean to them, but is that person's feelings, right? And so, mommy, I apologize if you thought I was talking mean to you or my response wasn't, what you thought it should be, because it really is about her feelings. It's not about my feelings. So I might think, oh, well, I'm not talking, to I didn't talk to you like that, or I didn't say it like that, but it's that person's perception. So as we are learning to talk nice to other people, make sure we are talking nice to other people. Oh, my sister is on here. She says, I'm officially international. Yes, she is in China. Hey, girl. I see some other people popped up. JY popped in. My aunt Team popped in. My aunt Ruth popped in. And I've been talking to everybody else. So my sister popped in. She made me international tonight. I've been international for a while, but I don't see all my international people all the time. But thanks for making me international from China tonight. But listen, that's what I want to encourage you guys tonight. I really want to encourage you to talk nice to yourself. And don't worry about what it sounds like. Don't worry about how many words you're using. Just talk to yourself the way that you need to be talked to. Affirm yourself. We talked about affirmations before, where you can put them all around your home, wherever you need to have them. You can put them in your car. You can put them on your mirror in your bathroom. You can put them on your mirror in your room. You can put them in your kitchen, if you spend a lot of time there, wherever you spend time, right? Where you're going to be able to see it, put those affirmations, and don't worry about what it looks like. Don't worry about what it sounds like. Just make sure that it is genuine and authentic to you, to what you need. Right? Oftentimes we think we know what people need, or people think they know what we need, but they don't know. They have to ask us, and so we don't want to assume. So talk nice to yourself. Make it look whatever way you need it to look. So if I need to sing, I look now. I can't, like I said, I can't even remember how I was singing, but I know I look fresh. I look good on my mama, on my hood. And so that day I needed to say that to myself for some reason. For some reason that was unbeknownst to me, but I needed to say it. Somehow I needed that. And so I said it, and it made me feel good, and it gave me a giggle, right? First thing in the morning. I'm like, where'd that come from? But say what you need to say to yourself in order to be able to push forward for that day, to move through that day. So affirm yourself with love, so that you can go through that day. You can go through life being your authentic self, right? Being genuine, because that's what people want. People want your genuine self. They want to be able to see you and know that you are yourself all the time. Right. So we also posted earlier this week that being authentic is still right. Being authentic is still good, right? Nobody wants to have to wake up every day and figure out who they're going to be, figure out what they're going to do. It's hard trying to be someone else. How do I know? Because I've been there before. We do it all the time. We code switch at work. We're one person at work, and then at 5 o'clock, we turn into somebody else. But I want to be who God has called me to be. I want to be able to be authentic. I want to be able to be genuine. There's only one me, right? And I don't want to dishonor God by being anybody else except for who he has called me to be, who he has told me to be, because that's the most important person, right? I just want to be me. I want Mrs. JSPIRE and Joe Shalon to be the same person. So wherever you see me, you get 100% genuine. And that's what I want to encourage you to strive for as well. Don't put any stress on yourself trying to be someone or something that you're not. Be who God has called you to be. What do we say? We see a caterpillar, right? And we see it just as a caterpillar, but a caterpillar is always destined to be a butterfly. And I know, those of you who follow me, you hear me say it all the time, and you're going to continue to hear me say that because I want to get it in your heart. I want to get it in your mind that a butterfly is a butterfly is a butterfly. And we have to go through that process. A caterpillar has to go through it. We have to see it. It has to be a caterpillar. We have to call it that, but it's a butterfly. That's its destiny, is to be a butterfly. It's a butterfly. Regardless of what we see, that's what it is, because that's the vision that God has for it, right? So the goal is to be able, and I'm not going to tell you guys all the whole process of a butterfly, but a butterfly, like, it goes through a whole lot. There's so many different stages that it has to go through in order to appear as a butterfly, for us to see it with beautiful colors and with beautiful wings. But it goes through this long process, and it's hard work, but it pushes through so that we can see it. But it already sees itself as a butterfly before we even can see it, right? And so that's where that hard work, as it's going through those different stages, to be who to be what it is, so that people can see it and that we can see it. But it's the vision that God has for it, right? And so it's the vision that God has for us as well. That process may not look pretty. That process could be hard for us. It could be hurtful for us, right? We, most of the time, we don't even think we're going to make it through that process, but we are going to make it. We have to go through it because there's goals and there's things to do. But the vision is the big part, right? And so God sees us. That vision that He has is who He says that we are. So people are like, well, I'm like, yep, I'm a butterfly, right? The process has been woo, but I'm there. I'm a butterfly. It's in my heart, it's in my mind. I'm a butterfly. And so that's what you guys are. We are butterflies. And so that process, you've gone through processes that doesn't feel good. I've gone through it. But yet tonight we're still together for Fill Up Friday Live, and we are doing what we need to do. So I love you guys so, so much. And again, if you were not on at the beginning, I'm so thankful that you have, spent some time with us tonight, and that you spent some time with each other. So I hope that if you came on tonight and you were empty, I hope that you are leaving full, knowing that it's okay to be your genuine, authentic self, knowing that you need to speak nice to yourself, talk nice to yourself, affirm yourself, and don't worry about what it sounds like. Whatever you need to say to yourself, you say it, you speak it, and you believe it, and you move about your life being who God has called you to be, walking in that path of your destiny. So again, you're just coming on. October 21st is approaching very quickly. We are on the countdown to JSPIRE Live presents what? Beauty, Boldness, and Butterflies. And I know some of you who are on here, you already have your tickets. If you have not gotten your tickets, make sure that you get your tickets. It is an event that you want to experience. You do not just want to hear about it. So don't just buy a ticket for yourself, buy a ticket for a friend. Hey, Princess, buy a ticket for your friend, buy a ticket for your husband, your wife. Listen, be in the building. Again, we have an amazing night planned: poetry, comedy, motivational speaking, musical performances. We have an amazing dinner set up for you guys. We have the purple carpet with the amazing Lakia Perez. She's going to be doing interviews on the purple carpet. It is going to be an amazing night. Tickets are $35. You can purchase them on Eventbrite. Eventbrite does have a fee of $4.19, but listen, you guys, it's just like paying tax. It's just like paying if you purchase a ticket from anywhere else through a box office. So don't let that stop you. There is nowhere in Hampton Roads that you can get this amazing night for under $40. I'm telling you. And Mrs. J Spire is going to be in the building. It is a semi-formal event. We haven't had the opportunity to dress up and go out and hang out in a really long time. So listen, ladies, get your gowns. Men, get your nice suits or your tuxedos, whatever you want to wear, but semi-formal, and be in the building. We have an amazing, amazing night scheduled for you guys. And I'm excited. I'm on the countdown. Every time I get the email that someone else has purchased a ticket, I get so excited because JSPIRATIONS Live has been part of my healing. It's part of my process, but it's been part of my healing to give me the opportunity to connect, to be transparent, and to grow. Because what I'm sharing, it's not just for you, it's for me. It starts out for me. God gives it to me, and then he gives me the ability to share with you guys. Even tonight, right? Talking about talking nice to yourself. You deserve a night on the town. And so go ahead and get that done with JSPIRATIONS Live and Mrs. J Spire. What am I most excited about? I'm excited about everything, but I am excited about you guys being able to come in and being on the purple carpet. I think that's going to be an amazing experience. And we're going to also have a few vendors. So we're getting close to Christmas if you celebrate, so you can come in, purchase some things with the vendors. A Nicole Fashions is going to be in the house. So, bring your Cash App, bring your credit card, bring cash, but it is going to be amazing. So I want you guys to be in the room. So I love you guys. Oh, beauty boldness. Yes, beauty boldness and butterflies. It is amazing, right? Just talking about just walking in boldness, the beauty of things, even though we can't see it, and that, we are butterflies. The process doesn't look good, but it's not always pretty, but we are who God says that we are. So yes, Dawn, is going to be amazing. So I can't wait to see you guys. I'm looking for my email to start dinging, right? Letting me know that people have been purchasing tickets. Excited about that night. And then of course we have a few other things that's going to be coming up at the end of the year. I will be talking about that after the October event, just trying to focus on one thing at a time. And then of course we have some amazing things in the works for 2024. 2023 has been amazing, and 2024 is going to be even better, right? Walking in expectation. This year we said we're going to be walking in expectation, and that is what I have been walking in. If you have not been walking in expectation, I encourage you to begin to walk in expectation of what God can and will do in your life if you allow him to, right? He gives us free will. But if you open your heart, you open your mind, and you come into agreement with him, I promise you, he will blow your mind. So this year we are walking in expectation of what God is going to do in our lives. So I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Like I said, if you're in Hampton Roads, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, be observant and pay attention to what's going on around you. A lot of wind, a lot of rain. And so we know that produces a lot of flooding in our area. So be careful in the Hampton Roads area. And if you're in other areas and you're experiencing this tropical storm, please be safe. I love you guys. Practice some self-care this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I love you guys too. I love you, Dawn. And as always, be JSPIRE.